Check, check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. We are live tonight. We are all just getting ready, getting our favorite dice lined up. We'll be starting tonight's session in just a few moments. And let's see. I don't think I need that right now. May need that. Oh, where's my dice bag? I got the dice bag. That's important. You can't forget the dice bag. Hey, Tony, did you ever find out what that wand was that you picked up?
The wand?
Yes, from the cart.
Fireball. I had a fireball wand,
That
but
was
I have a pile of stuff I need to figure out still.
Fireball wand. That was the one from the Vistani cart, correct?
That was the one from the cart, yeah.
Got it.
I gotta figure out the boots and the goat head, I believe. I can only imagine what that goat head does.
Oh yeah, Ricky, you missed last week's episode. Oh man, oh man.
I can only imagine what a goat head is going to do.
Oh man. Well, let me know when you roll a nat 1 on that wand. Just put a little asterisk and have it set to ask me. And we're just going to get some dice out there. What is up, BlackRock Joe? I see that you jumping in the chat. Much appreciation, much appreciation. Let's see. Volume on the goat head was awesome. Well, thank you so much. So this week, we are coming to you guys live, and we are not all in the same... majority of us are really not in the same state at all. I mean, generally, Danny's always in Florida, but, you know, me, Tony, and Ricky, and Mark are always, for the most part, in New York. And usually, we're all sitting down in chairs as well, and at a table and a desk. But as you can see tonight, if you're watching us live, which, this is why we tell you guys, make sure to check us out live, Ricky is currently driving and playing via True Theater of the Mind. So we have our players on standby with their with his D&D Beyond and some dice pulled up. So if anyone needs to help him make a roll, they can let him know what his modifiers are. But we're gonna see how tonight's episode goes. I'm highly anticipated that it's been high anticipation for Remus to come back in and the circus to move forward. And we're just giving it another moment as I get my dice loaded up and set up over here. Everyone else. Before we get into it, you know what? I'm gonna let one of you guys talk about DCT Industries, because if our listeners have not yet, they should be heading on over to it to check out Kaimon.
All right, I'll do it. So DCT Industries, we are working on a really cool tabletop game called Kaimon. It's kaiju monsters, essentially. We are actually right now in the process of kind of a facelift on the models. So I got some prototypes. They're not with me right this very second, but they're kind of rescaled and higher quality stuff. So we've got the starter sets planned out. We're going to be let me take a step back for those who don't know. Kaimon's going to be like a tabletop 3v3 Mon battling game. So you'll have your team of 3. Your opponent will have their team of 3. You'll duke it out on a tabletop with various attacks and trainer commands. We're working on some starter sets, so we don't have names for them quite yet, but an A and a B set that can hopefully be equally competitive within themselves as well as against each other. So keep an eye out for that. I know we are aiming for a March 2022 is a launch date, so keep your eye out for that.
Hell yeah, guys! Keep your eye out for Kaimon coming to you. Western New York gaming company. Come on, support local if you're in Buffalo, Western New York area. If not, if you just play tabletop games in general, this is why are you not checking this out? So check it out, go support, show the love. And do we have our triple changer? Haha. Morgor is not in the chat yet. We'll see if he is joining us tonight, BlackRock Joe. But who knows? Maybe he may be working on some DCT news without us aware. We'll see. We'll find out when he shows up. But with that, let's pick up and let's begin to roll, fellas. Just wake my ass up. So, thank you everyone that's tuning in, listening in. If you're catching us live, you are awesome. Thank you so much. If you're listening in, hey, come on over here next week. We go live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at Podcasters Tabletop Gaming. If on Twitch, Podcasters _ to be able to get the full interaction with our players, as we do have the Twitch feed up, and they generally jump into it to watch and be on it. Let me bump up. You saying bump up the volume on the Twitch channel? Okay. Let me see. Let me fix this little bit. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. One of you guys talk. I just want to match volumes.
I'm talking. This is what I sound like. Am I loud enough? Someone tell me.
How's that? Better?
Joe.
Mark?
How about now? I'm not Mark.
You're not Mark. I'm Mark. And this is me talking, yelling at Ricky, who's driving in his car.
This is my normal voice, but this is my podcaster's voice.
Okay.
Weird.
Well, better now. And let's do this. Okay. So, last week, as we were saying, check us out, catch us live, jump onto the Twitch chat, hang with the players. But let's get into it. So, as we left off last week, we had our players attend the carnival with, let's see, 1 second. Still a little low. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this volume. Dang it. What? Let me do this. All right. See, hopefully that's done a lot better for you. Okay. So you guys last left off with entering in the carnival, having a show of it. You guys last left off, went into the carnival, enjoyed a great show of a gunslinger, of a... so you guys had a gunslinger, you guys had a swordsman that was dashing and disappearing across the performance arena space. You saw a mesh up of goblins causing a fool of themselves, one of them causing a death, And who was the one that heard it? The thank you. Or let me end. Let me go.
I think that was Skrillex.
No, he was.
Maybe not.
It was one of you. One of you had heard one of the goblins. I think it was you. Yes, Goblin? Yes, they were speaking in Goblin. So you heard them, Finks. You heard them shout, kind of cause a thank you for ending it, whether it was by their choice or not, as well as a few other spectacles of some pixies and Jarrell being heckled, most certainly by you all, and Howard making a new friend of Sal, the vampire. After a sudden break of command and a undead chimera cutting loose throughout the carnival in the big tent, as you all ran in fear and for safety, Morgor ran in charging, and between shifting through various forms had fully decapitated and ended the life of this chimera. We'll pick up there. As you are all running off, Howard is running, Finks being carried by Maximus. You are all booking it out of the big top tent as you heard the big roar, as there are multiple dragon just emanating roars across the entire carnival space. What y'all doing? Oh, also, at the beginning of last session, our party realized that Remus had been swept away.
Remus.
He was the best of us. He was one of us. Howard's going to be running towards the exit still, but he's going to look over his shoulder to see, I guess, is like the tent burnt up now, or what's the dealio?
The tent was being licked in flames of green flames from the insides, and it has crept over to the out, and they are starting to kind of crawl up the sides of the big top tent. It's not full on ablaze, but it is slightly on fire.
All right, so I wouldn't see anything inside.
Not yet, unless you want to make a perception check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick. Nope, that's 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'll say you're about all of you are about like 50 feet from the entrance of the tent as you had ran out, and how actually no, it was no. Howard had dimension doored his way out.
I dimension doored out of the tent towards like off a little bit, and then I started running towards the exit.
Yes. You're all about 50. We'll say anywhere between 50 and 75 feet away from the center of the entrance to the tent that kind of everyone is piling out from. Howard, you turning around, you see that the tent's dark, almost bloodstained now, looking red as you see a horror of it. Kind of almost seeing it with a new light on how the acts were being held and contained. A few of the acts actually having these like almost like bracelet lockets, not lockets, shackles on their arms. And with the new perception, there's more of a horror added to this big top. It's more of this blood-stained red, and this the white is dirty and smoky now, with this gray kind of billowing up near the pitch of the tent. Flame is starting to kind of creep out, and it's starting to light it up more. But with an 11, that's all you can really see. Maximus and Finks. you doing?
Would we have noticed a change in anything as far as like the sound of like battle, or with that final roaring dragon noise? Is there silence? Is there just chaos? What do I hear?
There, make a perception check.
12.
12. You turning around see pretty much the same view as Howard, and as far as listening for chaos and noise, it is fairly chaotic in sounding. People are screaming, running, and when you first all entered the carnival, it was very much a dead carnival, that there was just some skeletal creatures and zombies meandering around it. As the Big Top has been unloading its contents of patrons that were already inside of it, Carnival now begins to liven up with livelier folk, and those that have a fear or a consequence of death are now running and kind of screaming. There are a mix of, it looks to be Vistani individuals. You see basic human folk running, screaming. Mothers are grabbing their children. And you see that there are even a few pockets of humans that are kind of running off down side alleys in between tents and pop-ups that... Actually, you know what? Make an insight check. As you see a woman and her child go running down a side alley between two of the tents to your side.
20.
20. As you see this, as everyone else is pretty much in chaos, this kind of like when everyone's running in the mob and one person takes off down the alleyway, who's waiting down the alleyway kind of mentality. And you see there is a zombie, it appears to be, kind of steps out and begins to lunge for this mother. And it is going to tackle the mother and be kind of push her down and go to bite at her. As the kid is, Mom, no. Because kind of tugging at his mom's shoulder from trying to pull her up and off of the ground.
Can I fire a crossbow at it?
Make an attack roll.
Real quick.
Yes.
I'm over your shoulder still, Maximus, or did you put me down?
You would have been put down.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because I figured I'd be looking the other direction.
Yeah, you would have been put down.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have set you down as soon as we were if we were clear and gotten away fast enough, I would have be down. Nat 20 for the attack roll.
Attack roll. You said cross bolt.
Yeah, so I got a crossbow, so I'm gonna pop one off.
Pulling up. You see the crossbow fire and rocket itself right into the head of the zombie, and it just kind of slumps over and falls off of the woman. She, thank you. Gets up her kid, pulling the mother up, and they begin running off further down, out of panic down an alleyway. What are you guys doing? You guys trying to go back in? You trying to leave? You trying to find people?
Where is Jarrell in all of this?
Make an investigation check. I'll say, are you on are you just standing on the ground?
Yeah, I guess I am now at this point.
Unless you're gonna find a way to kind of get up and get eye level with all the other humans and better view, I'd say you're gonna be rolling with disadvantage.
Okay. So that 12 turns into a 9.
Okay. Last you saw Jarrell, he was in the back corner of the tent running as he was trying to calm everyone down. When mass panic started to break out, he did run back to the almost like the changing room direction of like the back corner of the big top tent that was where the acts were walking in between from.
Do we know where? Can we see Howard, or do we know where Howard is at this point, or no?
I was gonna say Howard's going towards the exit, but does Fink say anything about like where's Darrell? Because that'll totally change his direction if he did.
Maybe he's muttering to himself a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Jarrell, where is he? Where'd he go? Looking around, not really calling out, hey, where did Jarrell go, though?
Okay. So yeah, I don't think Howard would have heard him. He's still going towards the exit then.
Okay. As Howard begins running towards the exit, you see that there are people fleeing from it, just plowing through the gates. And are you just going to try and run for it? Make a survival check as you're just trying to run for the exit.
12.
12. You get almost up to the edge, up to like the exit, the big gates. And unfortunately, at the point where you kind of get stuck there, it's already begun to bottlenose and fill itself up. And you actually get pushed down and shoved. And I'll say you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you kind of just get kind of crowd, almost like in the pit where you're getting crunched.
Okay.
And at this point, if he is running, he is going to be out of view. This would be probably a few hundred feet away from where Finks and Maximus would be. You'd be running away from them.
All right. Well, his whole plan is to at least get through the gate and then like wait nearby until everybody else can make their way through. Love the party. He doesn't care about anybody else in the tent.
Okay. So you begin to get up towards the gate, and you we have to just wait your turn. It's going to probably be a few moments until then. All right. That's there. Finks and Maximus.
I'm kind of like waiting for this Chimera to emerge to, continue fighting it outside. And if that's not happening after a while, I mean, I'm kind of going to wait that out. And then I might go check to see if Jarrell's in the tent.
Okay.
Once things kind of clear up and let the dust settle. So I'm kind of on hold too.
All right. We'll say it's better part of 5-6 minutes. No Morgor. No Chimera. How long do you wait? This point.
Yeah, we'll call it 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Even that, maybe 2-3 minutes would probably be reasonable.
Okay.
If people have dispersed enough to.
At this point, people have dispersed from the tent. They have fled from the tent and they are fleeing for the gate exit. Kind of like where Howard had ran off in direction of.
All right, I'm gonna pull on Maximus's robe. Say, all right, Maximus, I know you and I have our differences, and I know you don't like me and I don't like you, but that's not gonna matter right now. We're gonna have to go in there and we're gonna have to go fight that Chimera. So let's go. I start running.
Okay. You begin running in.
Sure, I'll follow him.
The fire on the tent has now begun to be smoldered out by some magical presence. As you walk in, you notice that it's very steamy, and it's caused almost like a smoked, almost like Lasertron effect, where it's like mist is and smoke is everywhere. You see that there is a skeletal body of a Chimera laying down on the ground, decapitated 3 times. There is a smear of, it looks to be this green acidic looking bile on the ground near it. Make a perception check.
14.
17 for me.
Okay. Remus, I want you to make perception check as well.
I got you, buddy.
Who's rolling for Remus?
19 plus whatever his modifier is.
18. So, Remus, you would see as there was this black dragonborn that was wielding a similar battle axe as Morgor, decapitated a 3-headed skeletal-looking chimera, looks up at you, does like a snapping, snarling, animalistic-like bite, and then begins running off to one part of the tent and kind of breaking through the tattered cloth, roaring, almost in a savage-like state. After this calms down, you look down and you see Finks and Maximus come walking in. Both of you look up trying to see for any of the circus acts. You see your violet-skinned tiefling friend up on the tightrope, 50 feet in the air, standing on one of the posts on the ledges, on one of the edges, like where the wire is tied off to. Who rolled high? Who rolled 17?
I did.
And you rolled 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 17. You notice that your tiefling friend has shackles on his arms.
Oh, Maximus. They got him. They got Remus to be in the circus.
Lucky? I always wanted to be in a circus.
Well, how high up is the tight wire or the tightrope?
About 50 feet up.
All right. Has Remus always been able to do that? I've never seen him do it.
It's news to me.
Remus is able to talk and everything. He's not under any type of... you are free to control as please, Ricky.
Hello? I'm stuck up here. I mean, I can walk across, but I don't really see the point, I guess.
I think it'll be easier for you to come down than for us to come up.
What's going on?
Have you been up there the whole show?
That's a great question. DM?
Make a history check.
17 plus whatever his modifier is.
Yeah, 19.
Sick.
It's been a little hazy. It feels kind of blackoutish where you've been watching from a distance and you don't really remember exactly how you got up to here. You also notice, I'll just say within the check of it, you also notice this almost a this brimstone smell around you up there in the up at the top.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I've been up here for a while now. I guess I should be able to get myself down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try and make a couple psychic daggers and hit the rope at the other end, the tightrope. It's like where it attaches to the platform across the way, and try and cut the rope there. And then I'm just going to climb the rope down from my platform.
Okay, make attack roll.
14 on the D20.
All right, psychic. All right, so that's a 20. So I'll say your dagger hits. It cuts part of the rope, and you see the other end just drop.
All right, I'm going to climb down the rope.
Okay. We'll get someone to roll in. We'll do... I'll let you go acrobatics on this.
I appreciate it.
All right, here we go. 18.
24.
Hell yeah, Mark.
So I asked you what color, bud.
I know.
That is a success. You loop your hands around the rope, cinch on part of the tail, and just begin sliding your way down. There's an unexpected speed that you didn't account for, because you now notice that on your wrist you have these heavy black metal shackles that are...
What the hell are these?
They are locked and pinched to be clamped shut, and you see that there are markings, almost like carvings, on them.
All right. Well, do I land? Do I land safely, or
You land safely. Little faster. Right. You came down a little faster because you now have these like heavy shackles that are like distinctly like you feel the weight on them.
Yeah.
And throwing daggers, you even have to kind of like readjust your how you're like how you're throwing.
Yeah. Can either of you take these off me?
Maybe, but I think we might need to find Drill for this.
All right.
Did you see
Not
where he
like
went?
you have no urge to like punch us or stab us, right? Like they're not like my pet monster bracelets or anything.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Then
I still want to know how I got up there.
I think Finks is right. We should probably just leave them on for now.
All right.
You do see on them that there are like little keyhole slots where someone could unlock it. Just
Can I unlock it myself with my thieves' tools?
You can attempt to.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
Okay. So you're in the big top 10 area, and you begin to pull out the thieves' tools, and we'll say make a sleight of hand with disadvantage as you are kind of locked in, and you're kind of like unlock them on yourselves.
I give him guidance for the extra D4.
I'll allow it as you see him kind of getting ready to unlock his own shackles.
I'm gonna bless his thieves' tools.
Come over. Just a little priest like on the thieves' tool. Splash a little water on it.
All right. So I'll roll twice. We got a 16 and a nat 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we need what, a D4?
D4 plus his sleight of hand check.
So as you go to slip it into the one of the so is it sleight of hand? So it is so 16. So
It was a 3 for the D4.
3 for the D4. Okay. So as you go to slip in to your offhand shackle, you slip the thieves' tool, little one of like the arm mechanics into it, and it falls into place. And as the second pin, you're having a little trouble to bend it. You see the anointment oil that Finks had kind of blessed it with helps loosen it, and it bends into the correct position, and you feel a click as you just succeeded one of your arm shackle checks. If you want, you can attempt to roll another, and I'll say make a perception check for Remus for me.
All right. Perception check. We got a 9.
Okay. It was strenuous, but it was one of those like sweat taking moments, like you started to break a sweat because this is like you're trying to like pinch and move your wrists in a position that they're not meant to move, but because you're a skilled rogue, you're able to. You wish to go for the other shackle?
Yes.
Okay. Disadvantage as well.
I always gotta do it left-handed.
10.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the D4, right?
Yes.
All right. 2.
Okay. Let's see. You take 16 points of psychic damage, Remus, as you go to try and wiggle one of your thieves' tool pins into place and have it unlock. And as the pin that was blessed with the anointment oil last time worked, this one you actually jam it a little too hard into where the pin locking mechanism is, and as you do so, you feel this throbbing pain on your head, on the front of your skull, as Maximus and Finks, you see a little bit of blood start to pour out down Remus's nose as he begins to bleed a little. As you took that 16 points of psychic, which I can track for you.
I'm gonna attempt to take the thieves' tools away from Remus.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna do it myself.
Okay. Do you have proficiency with thieves' tools?
Believe it or not, I do.
Okay, then you may
Remus is
roll
just better than me. But
You-
no disadvantage, I'm hoping, so.
You will not have a disadvantage.
Oh, I rolled terrible. I'm actually going to use my inspiration on that because I'm going to probably die if I take that much damage. Okay. So 14.
So hold on. I'll say, Remus,
Oh, yep, what?
you felt this psychic pulse come from the shackles themselves, almost as like a tethered net, almost like a tethered feeling to your psyche.
Okay.
You wish to still allow Finks to go ahead and do this? It's your call.
I mean, like yeah.
All right, well, 23 to my roll.
23. Okay. As you slip one of the pins in, you're fairly well with the thieves' tools, Finks. You have been in and out of some dangerous and tight spots before. Unfortunately, as you go to slip in one of the pins, you feel it's almost like a stopper, almost as if some dirt or some wax or some paper or something is clogged in one of the pins, and you cannot get the locking mechanism to unlock.
All right, I give up. I'm going to take his disarmed bracer and I want to put that away and keep it away from the other one. I don't know if they're connected in any way, but figure a person's length will hopefully be enough to maybe break some magic or weaken it at the very least.
Okay. Take the bracer away.
Yeah.
What do you
I'll just carry this one for now.
Okay. So you have on your right wrist there is a single shackle. By this point, I'll say, Howard, just for you, the patrons have the patrons that have been left that have been running in fear have fled, and there are other carnival kind of like workers being like, it's okay. All is under control. All is under control. Free drink tickets. And they start handing out kind of like free drink tokens to kind of like all the patrons that will stay and listen. And they're handing out little party favors and like popcorn to kids to kind of like, don't leave yet. Like, we still need to make this money. We can't suffer a loss.
Okay, at this point though, like most of the crowd's already dispersed and it's been like a few minutes now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so after a few minutes and like nobody coming through, he's gonna go back in, but first he's gonna grab a drink ticket.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, I want one of those.
Okay. You grab a drink ticket. It's a ale on the house, it says. For you there.
That's good. I'm gonna start making my way back towards the tent.
Okay, start making your way back towards the tent. Be a few moments till you're there.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I catch the scent of Jarrell to at least get things going in the right direction for this guy he's trying to find?
Make a perception check.
22.
There's this brimstony smell that you have noticed whenever Jarrell has been around, and you catch a whiff of it when Remus comes sliding down the rope. As of right now, there's no other smell of it.
Where did the axe go when they were done?
They would leave to the far left corner in the almost like covered by shadows.
All right, I'm gonna go that way.
Okay. You begin walking off to the far left corner. You're walking that way. Howard, as Finks begins walking off, you get to the entrance of the big tent. You see there's Remus standing next to Maximus. Finks is walking.
Oh, Remus, there you are. I was looking all over for you. Well,
You did a terrible job. You found me last.
oh, well, clearly. Cool. So we good? We need to get out of here, right? Or no? What are we doing?
I think we need.
Where'd Finks
I need Jarl to take off the shackle thingy. Finks was here.
Can I see like where Finks headed?
Oh
Howard, I'm over here. I'm over here,
Oh.
Howard.
You can all see Finks clearly walking off.
I'm gonna start following Finks as well.
Okay.
As will I.
You think Jarrell's back there?
I think something's back here.
Good. I have a score to settle.
Any signs of anything, DM?
Give me
I
a
wanna look
perception
at-
check. But go on.
Oh, is it-
Finks, make a perception check. Mark, what's up?
I want to look over to Howard and be like, so what's up with this Jarrell guy? How do you know? How is he such a bad guy?
He enslaved a bunch of people, was trying to start a cult. He forced me to gravel, and that's the main reason why I want to kill him again.
Again,
I don't do well with people enforcing their power over me. So
like I'll look at him and I'll kind of be like, how do you know I'm not him?
you smell different. Which do I recognize like any other scent of Darrell at this point too, or no?
You smell the brim. You would pick up on the brimstone instantly, I feel. You would be very aware that there is a brimstone smell that Jarrell brings, generally from his dimension doors, but also there's this infernalish connection.
Okay. Do I get the sense that it's in the direction we're headed, or is it near us?
You smell it, surprisingly, from Remus more or less than anywhere else. There's no direction other than Remus. Make an insight check.
All right, I got him.
No. Howard, make an insight check.
Oh. It's a dirty 20.
Remus smells as if he's traveled with Jarrell, almost by Dimension Door.
Gotcha, but it's not like Remus might be Jarrell.
No. Dirty 20, you don't pick up on that.
Okay. I'm sorry, Remus. I have to verify something, and I'm going to pull out the dagger and just kind of stab his shoulder a little bit.
I mean, Remus, do you allow him to stab you? You're muted.
I'm going to uncanny dodge.
Make an attack roll at Remus.
Exactly what Jarrell would do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to get stabbed.
It's a 4, so it's not really good.
Howard, as you pull out a dagger and kind of clumsily go to stab at Remus, ritualistic style, just like, ah! Remus just sidesteps and Matrix is out of the way.
Why would you do that?
I just had to test something to make sure. But you're Remus. You're good. I put the dagger back.
Remus is just going to look at Howard really strangely for the next few minutes.
You gave off a sense of him. I just wanted to make sure you weren't actually him.
Oh, now we all smell alike, huh?
Yeah. Well, I can't help it. I mean, you guys do have that certain brimstone smell, so I don't
We
know.
do.
All right, well, I'm gonna see if I can pick it up and keep going in the direction of where I smell it. Besides Remus.
That's
Anthony,
fine.
17 to that perception check.
A 17 to perception check. I'll say this one. You do not catch any more brimstone-like smell wandering in this back corner. But as you do, with your dark vision, you see that the light here is significantly darker. There are a few dim candles that lead into a tunneled tent, kind of a hallway that opens into a changing room of sorts. There are a few pop-up stand-up desks that are kind of just standing, just standalone, sitting there, kind of waiting to be used to sit down at. Each of them have a smaller mirror, a few setups of almost look like paint or makeup, maybe. Some potions of sorts, it looks like. Maybe some vials of liquid. Who knows what they are. And there's 3 or 4 of them sitting around. There are large sacks of cloth that you see. And with the 17, you also hear a shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? Almost a female-like voice coming from behind one of the large bundles of clothing or cloth-like material.
I'll kind of just yell out, Finks can hear you.
Finks! Is that... You're here! Is everyone else here?
Yes.
It's Kelna.
Kelna.
I've been following...
I'm gonna go find her immediately.
She looks you see this little small halfling head pop out with the ponytails done to the side, and you see her black and red looking leather armor that's harlequined, kind of just, she got a pale white looking face, and instead of the standard kind of like makeup that she had, it's more of almost done up as a clown with these big circle ovals, and there's almost this like off crooked looking smile messed up, and her hair looks dirtier now, almost as if she's been trying to hide and keep herself unnoticed. She's poking out from one of the bundles of clothing. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Following Jarrell.
Ah, good. Me too. Where is he?
I don't know. Chimera got loose. And all hell broke out after that. I didn't know if anyone else broke out and was going wild, but we need to kill him and get out of here.
I agree. Well, don't worry about the Chimera. I was able to handle that single-handedly.
Good deception, Jack.
Everyone else is waiting in the big top. Let's go.
Oh, okay. She steps out from behind the bushel of clothes and follows up over next to you. She's about your height. And she looks a little famished, actually. As if she's been kind of surviving on scraps.
Okay. I'll have her lead the way.
She leads it right back with you outside of this little winding tunnel of tent that opens into the big top. Howard! Remus! There's a cat person. What are you all... How did you get here?
It's a funny story. We kind of rode the Remist. How'd you get here?
Carnival came to town. I thought I heard a familiar voice coming from the tent on the last night and snuck my way in and haven't been able to really get out since.
Yeah, it kind of seems to be the running theme here. We came in through a mist and we're trying to figure out how to get out of here. But we ran into Jarrell, so you haven't seen him, have you?
Yes, I've been trying to get close enough to him, but he's got a wicked new sword and he's got new puppets to play with. He's always has someone guarding him. She's kind of looking you up and down. You all look like you've been through some changes.
Yeah, you could say that.
It's been like almost a year and a half. Where have you all been?
Oh. that long, huh?
Around.
Yeah, where haven't we been, really, is the real question. During this time, too, like, while Finks was off before he came back out with Calnell, Howard would have popped another healing potion that he got from the vendor.
Okay. Which one is this?
One of the healing ones
Healing
that we
potions?
bought from him.
Okay.
Yeah. We had, like, what, 3 or 4 of them we bought, right?
4 healing and then 1 blue potion.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just popping off another healing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're searching for Darrell too.
Yes.
There's people guarding him. Yes. Well, I have a score to settle with him.
Don't we all?
He owed me some information, and it turned out I didn't need him after all. So I just want to kill him.
Same.
Good.
I got nothing else to do. I'm down for killing somebody.
She looks at you and goes, "You're curious looking. Name's Kelna." And
Maximus.
Little halfling staring up at you. She has a little bit of the clown harlequin looking look to her, which Azoth already had met her.
Oh yes, sorry, my manners. Maximus, this is Kauna, Maximus. We met Kauna back in Brindspell.
Brindspell? It's been about a year and a half, as I said.
Yeah, it's been fun. So now we're all acquainted. Let's go see if we can find Darrell.
Let's go find him. He always has bodyguards, though. And don't let him get the shackles on you, or good luck making your own moves.
Does Remus still have the shackles on, or did you guys get them off?
One.
Remus has 1 shackle on, and you notice that Remus has dried blood coming down from his nose over his lip.
And they got like little runic inscriptions?
Of sorts.
All right. I could probably get those off, but I would need to rest first before I can try.
It's up to you guys.
Gonna have to wait.
I don't know where Jor-El would be right now. At least unguarded. But I have a cart. I've commandeered and made it my own. I've been posing as a vendor, walking around selling little popcorn, and trying to get close to him without him noticing it's me. It feels that whenever I get just within range of him, he has one of his bodyguards near him. It's the one with the guns you want to worry about. He's ruthless. It has a dead eye. Hit you from over 300 yards away.
Yeah, he doesn't like Eldritch Blasts at all.
No, and the one with the sword. He'll get you like a fish. Ruthless. Has some untamed, darker powers. Similar to you, Howard.
Well, sounds like you might be my new best friend.
We need to take them out before we go for Jor-El. Isolate him.
Well, you said Jarrell
Hold on. I'll look at
commands
Howard.
his guards, right?
Always has his guards.
Right. They're not a free will protecting him. I'm assuming they probably have some kind of shackle or something that he's powering over them. If we can free the guards, we can use them to get Jarrell.
The shackles are near impossible to be removed.
But not quite impossible.
Well, yeah, we'll point to Remus's wrist.
I got one. I'm just tired.
Look at his... Looks like he was rocked a little. Be careful tampering with them. And don't accidentally put one on yourself. As she looks at the other one that you guys had already removed.
What would happen if someone else put it on?
I don't know entirely. He'd probably have control over you. Take away your powers. Be a slave. Suffer the consequences of psychic damage. don't know, but I won't. But I won't risk it.
I'll look over at Howard and tell him to throw off his Eldritch Blast in the air.
I'm just gonna go straight up with Eldritch Blast.
Yellow Eldritch Blast shoots off in the air.
No, I'm gonna try the corners.
2 Eldritch Blasts go off.
Then I'm gonna do like a little twirly dance thingy, and then fire at the other 2 opposite corners.
Make a performance check.
All right.
You want to be fancy about it? We're gonna make you be fancy about it.
Yeah, he's starting to get into it. Performance. I don't think it's very good. Oh, it's not bad. 7.
You felt like it was one of the best renditions of your life. Everyone else did see you stumble and trip over yourself as if you had 2 left feet.
They just basically watched the Napoleon Dynamite dance off.
Basically.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So, to my cart then, for a rest.
Sure.
One quick question. When we first came into this is a DM question, not to Kalma. When we first came in, did we have like tickets for this event?
For the big top or for the circus in general?
The big top. There was no specific ticket taking of any sort.
You guys actually got in without tickets, thanks to Jarrell.
Okay.
And a little bit of Maximus of...
Okay, never mind that plan then. I was going to say maybe locate object on our ticket stubs. Could find him, but we got in for free. Never mind.
Okay. Well, if you all want to make stealth checks, as Kelna is like, I'm going to do a little bit of a changing, as you kind of see her doing a over her face as she turns from herself to a older looking man that's also a halfling, and one of her swords she pulls out from her side pocket. She makes it become a cane, and she begins kind of walking with it, hobbling.
Howard, I'm going to give you the usual, the advantage on stealth checks.
Sweet.
I'll disguise self as well, and I'll look like I can be Elna's aide or something like that. Another person with her to help her along.
Okay. Any stealth checks all around? I'll say advantage with Maximus.
25.
And what's Ricky's? 13 plus. I got a 22.
13.
And Ricky's got 13 plus his modifier.
22 as well.
I got a 16.
Okay. Finks, what was it?
25.
Okay. Stealth checks all around. You all stay together and slink off to the side as Kelna walks you guys from the back alleys between a few of the larger tents off to the left of where the big top is. And as people are beginning to kind of meander back and around and walk up in line, you now see they all happen to have these large, frothy-looking, metal-looking Stein foam mugs that are like, kind of like foaming at the lid of them. It kind of like Finks there, you know, kind of these metal-looking ones, just not foaming. And she slinks off and it's like, come on, follow me. It's not that big, but we can all get at least a few hours worth of rest in here. And she leads you another 100 yards or so away from the large tent where there are just rows of carts and some wagons, and there are a few horses that kind of neigh and whinny as she's walking and you're all slinking by them. She brings you up to a cart that is not attached to any animals. There are like the little pull mechanisms kind of like slumped on the ground, and the cart that it is a 4 wheels, has a single door on the side, and it is large enough, probably, for the size of a 10 feet by 6 feet width. Comes up over your head easily, Howard. Probably 10 feet tall. It's a tall, higher carriage, and there is a simple window on the part of the door. And over the window from the backside, it appears to have this paper ad, almost like an ad for the circus itself, has been slapped and kind of pasted over so that you cannot see inside. See her kind of hip check, her like shoulder check over to the door, pops it up, unlocks it, opens it in, and goes, "Come on in. Don't mind the mess." As she slinks herself in, and you hear a and then a candle light begins to kind of glow from inside of it.
Howard's gonna go in.
Okay.
Is there enough room inside for all of us?
Make a perception check.
Remus will follow.
15.
Yeah, appears to be a bit large enough for you all. You all get in. There are 2 bench sides. One bench appears to have been used as a bed that's kind of rolled out. The other side of the bench has a table that kind of swings out from the side paneling wall, almost like a TV tray style. That she swings back over. She scuffles and grabs some of her blankets and pillows and wraps it up in the bedroll. And she goes, "You all thirsty?" She uncorks a bottle or two. "You guys, that must be tired. You hear, Finks?" She hands you a bottle. "You fought that thing."
Yes.
You take a swig from the bottle. It is a sweet cherry wine.
Okay. I'll take another couple, then I'll pass it.
Sweet
Someone
cherry
else.
wine. Bum, bum, bum.
Funny. So, Jarrell has his tent that he stays in. He'll meander throughout the carnival, doing his Barker routine. As I'm sure you all remember, he did so well in Brian's spell. And then, after the show, he'll usually wind down and enjoy a few drinks for himself before turning in. He always has one guard at the entrance into his tent, and one stays in there with him. I've never gotten in, but I know I've heard other voices and other footsteps within the tent also. Plus, there's creatures within the circus itself that he does control over and has sway.
And I'm assuming that's because of the shackles.
You assume correctly, Howard.
Well, like I said earlier, if we can free them, we can use them.
God bless you.
Can I attempt to cast a spell? I want to do Dispel Magic on Remus's shackle and see if that gets any further.
Okay. As you cast it, make an Arcana check.
All right. That is an 18 minus 1, 17.
Okay. Let's see, just real quick. using your spellcasting ability. I'm sorry. Make a spellcasting ability check. So that'd be...
All right. So it'd be plus wisdom. So it'd be 18 plus 3, so 21.
Okay. As you go to cast it, you feel that the... How do you cast the spell magic?
I don't know. I feel like it kind of varies time to time. Let's.
How are you casting it on Remus?
I'm just gonna take Remus's bracer, 2 hands. I'm just gonna start shaking, and I'm just gonna keep getting more and more violent to the point where it gets like dangerous.
So as you do, you feel that the shackles themselves begin to heat up, and there are these grooves along it that begin to kind of glow with this arcane energy. And as you're shaking it and shaking and shaking it, Remus, you feel that the shackles are getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And then there's a as a puff of smoke kind of explodes from the hands of the magic, just kind of building up. Shackle is still on Remus.
Oh, thank God I'm resistant to fire damage, I guess. That was getting really hot. I don't think it worked, though, sadly. I'm not sure if it just... Maybe it did something to it, but I can't tell.
Well, maybe the magic's gone. Maybe it's just locked.
Maybe. Do you want to try again?
No.
Can I try again?
You may certainly can if you wish to.
All right, let's do it.
All right. As you begin to kind of go one-handed into this, Kalna goes, Remus, let me help you. As she sees you rolling with disadvantage on trying to unlock it for yourself. So having another rogue's steady hand, I'm going to give you a straight sleight of hand check with the proficiency bonus.
Woo!
I rolled a 14.
Guidance 2.
Woo!
Plus the...
Woo!
What's the guidance, Sphinx?
D4.
Hell yeah.
Where'd that D4 go?
It's the pointy
Plus
one.
a 2.
14 plus the 9. 22 plus the 2. Wait.
23 plus 2, 25 total.
23 plus. That's where it is. I'm like, wait, no, I'm doing it.
25.
25.
25, you just meet the requirements. As you are fearful, Remus, kind of sliding the thieves' tools back in, knowing what happened last time that you had failed. And hoping that Kelna is a lot more delicate as well and mindful. You see her slip in her own thieves' tool sets and helping now wiggle and kind of do this corkscrew motion within one of the locking mechanisms. You feel one of the tumblers click, and then the shackle on your wrist goes light. And then there's a as it falls off to the ground.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you. Also, great job, team.
Howard's going to grab the shackle.
Howard grabs a shackle. This is heavy. These are heavy.
I'm kidding.
Kind of throw the other one kind of just on the floor next to it. I don't know what to do with these.
These are black, heavy iron shackles.
All right. I'll throw them in my bag.
Do you have a bag of holding?
No, but it's getting pretty full.
The bag's getting pretty full at this point.
Yeah.
If you haven't been clearing anything out, these are some heavier shackles.
Yeah.
Probably think these are like probably about 2-3 pound weights about each.
Okay.
Some solid iron.
Yeah. Every time I've tried to find a bag, they don't have a bag of holding, so it's all good. So I think we could probably use this against Jarrell, maybe. Like drain his own power, or wonder what happens if you use a magic thing against him like that.
Who knows? Have to figure that one out.
While Kauna was helping Remus, was she like behind him, like the scene from Ghost? Just
Not exactly.
Okay.
She's more or less kind of off to the side and kind of almost like two rogues with their heads kind of butted up against each other, trying to like get into like their one spot. Like, no, you do this. No, okay, move a hand here. Be careful. Swing it there.
Someone's got to hold the flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. During that time, Howard would have just been writing in his book.
Okay.
I probably would have curled up to like start to fall asleep or something. Curled up on the floor.
Okay.
I've got to do some investigation with these items
Okay.
if I have time to do so.
Well, I'll say you all can begin a short rest unless you wish to try and rest for the day to do a long. And that will ensue a whole... It depends. Different day, different story. So what are you guys trying to rest for?
I'm okay with just a short. How are you guys doing?
What do I need to do to get back some HP for a short rest?
Short rest. You have to expend some hit dice.
I'm about half tapped out on spells, so
I would need to use some hit die as well. I'm down for either though.
You're down to... Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait, shit. Hold on. You're down to 22 hit points, Remus, out of 38.
Yeah, like I'm up for whatever. If we want a short rest, that's good with me too. If anyone wants the long rest, though, I won't say no either.
Well, Kelnell, you said Jorel will probably stay around as a barker, right? That's his motto. That's his thing.
That's generally what he'll do. He'll, with the show kind of on a hold for right now with the main acts, he'll probably be wandering around the games and some of the rides, making sure everything's working functionally and making sure that we can collect as much as possible for a take for the night.
Okay. Well, I would rather, if we're going to go up against him, especially if he has guards, go at him with full strength. So if he's going to be around here, I say we can take a long rest. That way you guys can be at full power when we go against him.
Do you all want to do a long rest?
I'm game.
Long rest means that Jarrell get the long rest as well.
Right.
And all of his henchmen do, so choice is yours.
I'm okay with the long rests. How
Okay.
are you guys?
fine with that. On top of that, we're missing our friend.
Our tank.
I'm sure he could use a long rest too.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Was that like 1?
2 hit points. He was
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Okay.
Long rest.
Long rest it is. I'll say. Who wants to take watches? Eskelna is. I'll watch the first watch with whoever's up.
I'll take it.
I was gonna say I can take watches too. I don't necessarily have to sleep for a long rest.
So here's the thing: is that as warlocks, you guys do want to at least you cannot go more than 2 short rests without a long rest.
Right, but I have aspect of the moon, so I don't have to necessarily sleep.
That is different than the actual. Okay, so you actually really don't have to. Okay.
All right,
So-
then you can take it.
All right.
All right. Real quick, outside of game, I have a spell called Locate Creature that I have not used. It's 4th level, so that'd be my only 4th level spell. But I can basically just find a creature within 1,000 feet, it looks like.
Okay.
Just put it by name, so
Okay.
we can go that route. But again, I think we're better off maybe saving that for later. Kind of curious if I should prepare that.
Might come in handy.
Okay, because that's taking away my Dimension Door, my Polymorph, and my Banishment spells. So if we are okay, kind of losing like my one spell, that's going to be like my high level thing to find them. We can do that. it's not a problem. But if we think we can track him down organically, we might be better off if there's a fight.
I mean, I think we can do it organically because we're here.
Agreed.
He's here. Like, he's not going anywhere. He's at his. This is his like place of employment.
Yeah, like he's not the boss here. He's also stuck here.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'll prepare it, and then I've got polymorph dimension door on standby. Then if we can't find him, then we'll be ready to go that way.
I also have dimension door too, so if we need to get out,
Okay.
I can grab you and go.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And then trying to think if anything else would be useful for this particular fight versus a gunslinger and a teleporting swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Holiday is ruthless. He gets off quite a few shots put around, and you don't want to get too close to him, especially if you're down to your last breath. He sort of fuels Jarrell's experiments. And you all click and realize you've seen something similar to this happen earlier that day when he had done a shootout with one of the patrons that was mouthing off.
All right. Well, we're all inside a cart, right?
You're all within a wooden cart that is used to travel between the shows.
Okay.
Covered with robes and drapings and curtains and bottles of wine. There are wheels of cheese kind of stacked up along some of the back ledges. You see a box that's full of smoked meats. There are rusted-looking weapons. Appears to be some items and trinkets scattered amongst.
All right. During my time of watch, then I'll go through the trinkets, see what's in there. At some point, I'll walk outside of the cart just to keep an eye out, just to see what's going around. I'll kind of write and draw in my book. So.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
All right. 18.
18. Going through and rummaging through the trinkets, you see there are a few magical-looking properties that stick out. One of them is a leather pouch. It appears to be almost like a side satchel in size. Dirty brown, stained, has some blood smears across it. You see that there also a shield that appears to have almost a skull carved amongst the front of it. And the skull is open. There are shoulder pads that you see sticking out, similar to the ones that you've seen Kelna wear before when she was all leathered up. These ones look to be not so much her style as they are kind of like have spikes coming off of them. I think, was it Ultimate, well, not Ultimate Warrior, who's the wrestler that had the football, like football pad, shoulder pads with the spikes?
Legion of Doom.
The one with the metal spikes, you know.
Yeah, Legion of Doom. Yeah.
You see almost like a set of almost like shoulder pads, that like leather pads that you would they're sticking out. 18, that's what you find.
All right, I'll grab the pouch.
Grab the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Feels to be a weight to it. As you kind of grab it, you hear a clink, 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 almost like glass vials shaking from within it. But as you grab it, the pouch is light and weightless.
Okay. I'll open it up and see if I can reach inside, grab one of the vials.
You
or
just
the glass or whatever I hear.
grab for the glass. Roll a d20 for me.
Okay. 12.
12. As you grab one of the vials, you pull out, there's a green-looking liquid inside of a potion bottle, it looks like. It's like a flask of sorts.
These might come in handy. I'll put it back in, and then I'll attach the pouch to my side.
Attach the pouch to your side. As you put your hand inside it, you feel the item kind of go and disappear from view, and it's no longer in the pouch, at least in your grasp.
Interesting. I'll take the blue swirly potion that I have, throw that in there as well.
Again, also, you kind of go to set it in there, and almost like a vacuum sucks it into it.
Oh, this is nice. I'm going to put the rest of my healing potions and everything else in there.
Spend the better part of 20 minutes. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, there's an extra spare. Giant brains. You can't get it off the leather once it cures. As you look down and see the smearing blood stain across it, she's like, it was just better to pick up a new one. But
I don't know. I like it. It gives it a certain rustic feeling.
She chuckles. You're funny, Howard. It's yours.
Thank you.
You guys have helped us out enough, and we're going to kill Drell tomorrow. Again.
Yes, we are. Again.
But, all right. Anything else you wish to do besides look around? I'm sorry.
I'm going to be also writing and drawing in my book.
Writing and drawing in your book? Anything specific you'd write in the book?
Notes about the dagger. I'm going to actually try to sketch out the dagger itself.
Okay.
And then notes that I found out about having to be evilly aligned. Learning wizardry type things to get to that point. I'm going to write a petition to the king. In I don't know, in like, I guess, in a way for his help, we'll try to sacrifice Jarrell towards him.
So, as you begin to write off and finish off his note to the king, there's a response that appears in this black, sappy, like, ooze that kind of just bubbles up from the bottom of the page. And it reads, "There is no king here. Only I. And you're welcome." As it ... pulls up at the bottom.
Ooh. And I'm going to write, "And who is I?"
A power more feared and powerful, trapped amongst the mist, and one that returns taking gifts.
So do I have you to thank for... I'm going to write this in my book. Like, do I have you to thank for returning part of my gifts?
In a sloppily written ooze, that's just kind of like inky ooze that kind of appears, there's just a word that appears that says Eldritch Blast.
Well, I don't want to do that in here, so I'm going to go outside and just shoot off an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, you go outside. The moment you do, Callan goes, "Howard, what the fuck?"
Sorry.
Low profile. Low profile.
Yeah, I thought I saw Jarrell.
Deception check. She's looking at you puzzled.
24.
Oh shit. Is he... It wasn't him, was it?
No, it was a bird.
Be careful with the ravens here. They're not what they seem, but... Okay. Thanks for keeping an eye. She just is like, what the fuck? She muddles under her breath and goes back into the cart.
Okay. And then I'll just stay outside for the rest of the night.
Okay.
And watch.
All right. Now, I just want to recall aspect of the moon. You don't have to sleep.
I don't have to sleep, but I have to at least rest somewhat, like doing light activity. Let me go back to.
Okay. Is aspect of the moon, is that a standard invocation?
It's one of it's one of my standard invocations. You no longer. Sorry, no, it's in Xanathar's guide.
Never mind. Not gonna be in the handbook then.
You no longer need to sleep and can't be forced to sleep by any means, and you gain the benefits of a long rest while doing light activity.
Okay. So light activity, standing guard, little bit of tinkering. Fair enough. Okay. So if no one else wishes to do anything else, unless Sphinx you had.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could figure out what those items did. The smelly boots and the goat head.
Okay. So are you casting any spells to figure it out, or are you gonna?
I don't have any, so I don't really know the process.
Okay.
I don't have identify.
Generally, you have to spend better part of an hour or so attempting to attune to find out what the item would be.
Okay, so I will do that if that is possible, and I will prioritize the boots over the goat head.
So the boots are boots of the undrowned. You're not going to find it in D&D Beyond. They perpetually smell like briny seawater, to the point where it is overly strong that everyone else can have this briny, salty smell hitting their nostrils as well. You are unable to be drowned while wearing the boots.
Okay.
But you do not breathe water.
So figure that out.
So essentially, if from way you would take this is that if you were to go unconscious underwater, you would not have to make death saving throws, but you would still attempt to have water enter your lungs. So
it'd still be terrible.
It would still be a bad idea. But you also cannot breathe water. So this is it's kind of it's good, but coming up above the water while also having your lungs filled with water, your party better have some quick maneuvers.
Got it. All right, boots of the undrowned. Very cool. And then do I have time to do the other one as well?
Yeah, if Howard's the one kind of keeping up, and then you're all going to be able to do a nice full long rest, I'll allow you to do another one. What is the other one that you're doing?
The goat head that was in the Giants' bag.
Okay. As you begin to kind of just try to attune yourself to this goat head, Howard, you hear bah, bah, bah. A Sphinx, while attuning to the goat head, you may use it to speak goat.
Okay, let's rephrase it. I may use the head. The head will speak for me.
No. While using the head itself, as an item, it allows you to speak goat.
Speak goat. Can I understand goats?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I like it.
So it's like the goat version of crack, Big Jack?
Essentially, yes.
Oh yes, new side missions.
This might be useful later. Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay, first of all, goats are the perfect scouts in Barovia. Nobody pays attention to the goats. Hardly any chupacabras here, so they're basically a protected species. And I don't know, they're cool. I like goats.
You can trust the goats, but not the ravens. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, two very interesting items. Thank you.
No problem. This item may or may not have been used as a hunting kind of almost like a goat call for the giant, as it was hunting.
Oh, okay.
So
that makes sense. Oh, we can lure them into trusting. Okay. Yep. I got it.
All right. Oh man. Okay. I love giving you guys great items. All right. So everyone else, actually, Howard, roll a d20 for me, because you are doing the soul long rest. Watch.
8.
All right. Kelna does go off to sleep, and you all do get to hit the long rest button. Remus, I'll do it for you. Whoop. Perfect timing. And with the 8, it is bright and early in the morning as you hear a red-scaled dragonborn comes stomping from the woods to a large stack of barrels that are positioned off near the cart, Howard, that you are sitting outside of on the like the footsteps. Like this, it's kind of like almost like a trailer where, like, as you go to open the door, there's like a layer of like a little stairs that kind of pop out that have flipped out. There, that you're sitting on like this little flip of like stairs, watching out, and you see Morgor walking out of the woods and behind a tent, and he is stomping in the direction of a stack of barrels to your left. Morgor, you can take a full long rest, as everyone has made it successfully through the night.
Perfect.
You're back to being red.
Morgor always red.
Yeah. Exactly. Where'd you go? We were looking for you. We couldn't find you anywhere.
Morgor had some business to attend to.
I see. A lot of barrels.
The Morgor business.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're all inside right now. We're gonna go hunt Jarrell, but he has a couple of guards. So.
How many?
2. but they're pretty powerful and they're controlled. So if we can uncontrol them, we can use them.
Why control them when Morgor just cut them in half?
You could do that too. Just pretend they're barrels. I'm sure you could do it.
Morgor remember killing a chimera. Morgor can handle 2 guards.
No.
I saw you, dude.
That's impossible. Fink said he killed the chimera.
There must have been 2.
Huh. That's weird. Okay. We're gonna look at Fink's like.
Oh, you Finks.
Which, for Morgor, you're walking up to one of the carts that have been off to the side of the carnival, as you see a Howard and anyone else that is now waking. It's roughly around that break of dawn in the morning, and it is everyone else is like little parts of the carnival are starting to wake up. You start to hear carnival rides starting to dun 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 dun. Noise in the background. The day's starting to wind up, and who knows where you had wandered off to throughout the night, but you see Howard keeping watch over a specific cart. So you hear a few voices coming from within it.
Okay.
Cart is 10 feet tall, 10 feet length, 6 feet wide. Has a door behind where Howard is kind of sitting, and where like the front, like the saddle, like you would attach like a horse or an animal of burden, it is not attached. 4 wheels on the cart.
Okay.
They're all inside, so if you want to make your way in, you can.
So they're all inside this cart? No one's outside right now?
Just Howard.
Nope. Just me.
Okay. Where do you say we go?
Well, we need to find Jarrell, but I want to make a pit stop first because I am kind of thirsty. So, if you don't mind keeping watch until everybody's up and ready, I'll be right back.
Morgor, stay and keep watch.
Good.
Okay.
All right. Howard's going to disguise self as like a zombie version of himself.
Howard, Morgor, perception checks. Morgor with disadvantage.
9.
So with disadvantage, you take the lowest of the two?
Correct.
15.
Okay. Morgor, you feel that there are these, almost feels like you have shoulder pain on both of your shoulders, as if you have almost like shoulder pain, almost like in the shoulder blades, like right here.
Okay.
Feels like too piercing. Almost feels like you got stabbed in the back twice.
I reach back and I try and see if there's any blood or anything.
You reach back and you feel there is a bony protrusion. Feels like almost like bone is shunting out from your back.
I'm going to look down at my Tiamat tattoo and I'm going to whisper to it, "Is this another one of your blessings?"
Make a religious check.
Would Howard have noticed the bones too, or no?
With this, at this point, yes. With the making motion of it, you would see that there are these like raw bone, blood-stained looking protrusions that are about an inch or two protruding from his back, and kind of like in the shoulder blades.
I guess the old saying is true, Morgor. Every time a Dragonborn kills a Chimera, he gets his wings.
Ah, Morgor finally get his wings. The blessing of Tiamat.
What was the religion check?
11.
No response?
I take this as a good sign.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, then I'll be back. And then Howard's going to walk off. He's going to find the drink procession, I guess, with his little ticket and see if he can get his free drink.
Okay. The convenient, like the open stands that you'd went to the day before, they're not up and running yet. But you do hear, almost like a clattering of pots and pans, and there is talk and voices coming from a medium-sized tent that you hear. Yo, give me some eggs. Give me a bake that tastes like shit. Even the zombies won't eat it. Some of us are alive in here. Oh, hell. And there's a like a punching sound. And then you see a skeletal body go flying outside in front of the tent across you.
Oh, hello. I was here to get my drink.
At the skeletal body at the ground?
Yeah.
It just stares at you.
Oh, okay. Well, you're no help. I'm just gonna walk over him and go up towards the drink stand or the stand or whatever.
To the drink stand?
Yeah.
You look over, up and down it, about 30 feet in length, and no one's working it yet. You see there's a few tapped kegs across the counter, some mugs below the counter. One of them is a golden-looking stein, you see, the lid clamped.
All right. I am going to... Hold on, wait a minute. Where is it? You sent me.
Facebook.
No, I know, I got it. I put it in my notes though,
Ah.
so I have it all on here. All right, so I'm going to think. I'm going to let the shadow come off of my arm and form my hands and reach over and grab one of the steins and bring it towards me.
So as you conjure this shadowed-looking hand, kind of appears over by one of the steins, and it kind of wispily grabs one of the hands, brings it up over to you. It is not filled, it is emptied, and maybe wasn't cleaned yesterday.
That's fine. I'll grab the stein, prestidigitation, however you say it, to clean it all up. And then I'm going to have the hand bring it over towards the keg and see if I can get it to pour.
Bring it over one of the kegs. You see the kegs are currently tapped with a big, thick cork, and there is a tap below it. So are you trying to, like, crack it open and...
Kind of. I'm going to have the hand set the cup underneath the tap,
Okay.
and I'm going to bring the hand up and open up the tap if I can.
Make a... Let's see. Make a charisma make a spellcaster check with your charisma.
Okay. 23.
The hand kind of grabs into the top and breaks the tap off of it, and it begins gushing out this red, brownish looking ale. As it grabbing the mug full, swings it back on over to you.
Beautiful. I'm going to start drinking it, leave my little drink ticket on the counter, and I'm just going to walk back towards the cart.
It is a nice, rich red ale, almost like an Irish Reds, almost like a Killian's in flavor. It's
Nice.
a little nice, refreshing flow down the throat. Bite isn't too strong. Not that bad.
It's not bad at all. Do I get the sense that I've had this kind of ale or wine before in a previous town with a barrel full of dead bodies?
I get perception and then history check.
So perception is 15. 15, and then history, natural 20.
There is a taste to this of fermented body that you have tasted this before.
That's what I thought. This is pretty good. I'm going to keep drinking it and
Okay.
head back towards the cart.
Jarrell does have a specific brew style.
Mhm.
Okay. So, while Howard's off doing this, has anyone else leave the cart? It's morning time. No one else
This has been doing some research on the local economies, and he found he can buy a goat for 1 gold coin. So I'm looking for a goat vendor. Perhaps I can get multiple and plan something ridiculous. That's been occupying my morning.
Okay. While you're reading the book, Kelna actually wakes up before anyone else. Then she goes, "Oh, that's yeah, that's just like the standard pricing of like commerce and trade. You're welcome to keep it. I have no use for it. Got
Oh
everything
no,
I
I
need.
had to rip out the page I want. Like, this was all I needed.
So you just ruined it. You know what? I wasn't using it. It's fine. It's fine. Honestly, I'm hungry. I'm going to cook up some bacon, and I'll be back. Are you hungry? Anyone else? Is anyone else awake yet, or is Remus and Maximus still sleeping?
I think I would have like stirred and woken up at this point. You know, kind of just slinking around. You know.
I'm still recovering from my brain trauma nosebleed, so I would be a little sluggish this morning. And I would wake up.
Okay. So, I'll bring some back for you, Finks. And
Yes.
eggs for everyone else. She opens the door and she goes, "What the hell?" Morgor, you turn around and you see a halfling opening the door. Female with ponytails, two of them. Almost like in a bun. You see her with this black and red looking fashioned armor. Leather armor, and she's got this dirtied face and her hair's a mess and hasn't been cleaned in weeks. And easy there, big boy. Slams the door behind you. There's a red dragonborn here. Does it pretty dangerous back home.
Is he angry?
Probably. He looked big.
Can I open the door?
You open the door. It's Morgor.
Okay. Yeah, he's angry.
Shit. You see her kind of going for. She dives into the pile of like rusted looking weapons and she's searching for something. And she goes, "Here we go." As she pulls out a long sword that she kind of grabs in both hands and she's like, "This'll do the job."
I'll cast my mage hand and just like pluck the sword out from her hand and just like drop it in the pile.
No. This is for fighting dragons and dragonkin. It's a dragon slayer sword. This is for the job. As she kind of like goes back to pick it up, thinking that you made this did this by mistake.
He's with us.
She looks down at you, thinks, "Really?
I mean, for now.
Okay. No dragon slayer sword."
I'll take the mage hand again and just pluck it and set it back down.
Fine. As she dives back in there, pulls out, you see her pop out with 2 hand crossbows and starts loading on these red scaled looking bolts. Just kind of locking them into place. Puts them in her holster. Always got to be careful.
Meanwhile, Morgor's doing that thing outside where, you know how lizards lick their eyeball?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
She opens the door. "Hey there, big fella. You hungry?"
Morgor always hungry.
"I'll go catch us some food. Don't burn the place down." As she kind of steps out behind you, kind of scurries off in the direction of where Howard had went. "Name's Kelna. Don't burn down my cart, please. I've been hiding here for a bit, and it's kind of become like home." She scurries off.
I'll come out and pat him on the back and be like, "Hey, bud."
I go, "Maximus!" and I give him a big hug. But with Morgor being so strong, it might actually hurt him.
Make a strength saving throw, Maximus.
All right. Let's see. All right. 7.
7. I'll say, Morgor, roll a d4.
Wait. 1.
Okay. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, it being in the morning. You feel your back pop a little bit. Realigns. All right. What are you guys doing in the morning? Kelna ran off. Howard, are you on your way back to the cart? Because you're gonna be passing Kelna, but she would not recognize you at this point.
Yeah, no, I would be walking back towards the cart.
Okay.
She might though, because I'm still wearing the yellow robe and everything else like
Oh.
that. So I look like
She-
Howard. I just have a zombified face.
She would recognize the yellow coat then. Howard, I'm getting food. Do you mind lending a hand?
Sure.
All right. Walks into the medium-sized tent that you had passed, that you saw the skeletal body get tossed out of. And walking in, you see a rowdy bunch of carnival workers. You see there are a few larger orcs, bunch of goblins running around. There are skeletal bodies serving out food and plates of bacon and eggs. Doesn't all exactly look the most appetizing, but food is food, better than gruel. And you see that there is a dwarf with a nice knotted beard that is pouring glasses of morning beer for everyone. She goes, just grab a plate, follow me, don't open your fucking trap. We don't want
Kind of that hurts. Why would you say something like that?
We don't want people to know you're here and that you're impersonating. We want people to think that you're a zombie, so stick to the oohs and
How's that good?
Perfect.
Good. All right. We got this.
She's walking down kind of this line of the line of a table, almost like a continental breakfast style, where it's like eggs and bacon and smoked meat, and there appears to be like some dandelion, like dead flowers that they attempted to make it like into some kind of greens, and it's just not happening. There are some root vegetables you see that are fried up and diced up, and she's scooping a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Big plate of eggs. And Benja, can I just get give me like a mini pint to go? It's been a long night, and I just gonna take the food to my cart. He looks over. Well, there, Kelna. See you didn't scurry. See you scurried off. Shoot. Shut up with the name, please. Told you. It's Lightfoot right now. After we leave this place, we can go by our old names. Ah, yes, well, hopefully here's to us getting out of here. And you see him kind of itch at his neck a little bit, and there's a big, large shackled chain, shackle with these runic scribes on it. And he pulls open one of his coat pockets, and he's kind of this cloak. He's got this cloak draped on over him, and he swings it open, and has a couple mini like growlers to go that already tapped, and he pulls out one. He goes, two. He goes, don't kill it all this morning. Try to make it last. You've been going a bit heavier through it. And you're a littler lass. You don't got that dwarven blood in ya. She goes, thanks, Dad. Sarcastically. Maybe.
Howard's looking at both of them, trying to see the resemblance.
She looks at you and goes, shut it. He looks over at you, kind of just puzzled. You have your plates. He goes, carry one for the girl. As she kind of hands you one of the growlers to, like, they're thicker. Dog. Puts in your hands. She begins to leave. You see her trying to keep her cool and kind of keep off to the side without making notice of where she is. And make a perception check as you kind of scan the room.
18.
18. You see that everyone here pretty much is kind of like, the grunt workers. of the circus. It's kind of where the secrets and trades will be disclosed, but be careful with what you spill because this probably isn't the most trustworthy of rooms. You do see sitting in one of the corners a white-skinned tiefling that's just scoping out a pile of goblins that are all chattering to themselves. Two of the goblins are punching each other over a fight of sorts. He walks up over them and goes, well, now Jarrell's going to want to have to talk to you, too. We can't have none of that funny business today. We don't want another accident at today's show. As he grabs them both by the scruff, picks them up, and begins walking out of the tent past you both. In doing so, as you all leave, you do see, as you leave the tent, there is a human that kind of bumps in to Kelna, like almost like a more or less crossing paths, and he goes, I'm so sorry. You are unfamiliar to my face. I'm new here as well. My name is Savino. I just wanted to say, you are beautiful. Kelna looks up at him and goes, scrub off. You're not my type. As he looks down, he goes, you reminded me of someone I once knew. But, alas, perhaps another time. As he parts off to the side, lets her begin to kind of pass by him, lets you pass in following, as she begins walking back to her cart.
I'm gonna watch him real quick. Did he like try to grab something from her when he bumped?
Make an insight check. Or perception. I'll let you call it.
8. Perception.
Perception? Doesn't grab at her. More or less looks like he's recognized a face. And he was more or less... There's a sincerity to him. But there was something off. He wasn't planning to bump into her, it seems.
Gotcha.
This was a human. Widowed peak hairline comes down. Dark brown, youthful looking face. Eyes, his eyes look very much predator-like, though. Or he's staring at someone.
All right. Howard will continue following Kalna.
All right.
Back to the cart.
All right. As she's going back to the cart, Finks, Remus, Morgor, Maximus. What are y'all doing?
Gambling. If anyone wants to play a dice game.
Morgar wants to go to this tent that you said had the rowdy bunch in there.
Morgor
Sure.
here. Morgor wishes to walk over to hearing voices pick up. Make a perception check. Let's see if you hear the rowdy tent.
Two.
Okay, with a 2 and a perception, hearing of rowdy tents, you don't hear any fighting, any clattering of like a dining hall. What you do hear is a coming from 2 carts across your way of where you're sitting from Kelna's cart. And you see the one cart is just kind of moving slightly to the left, slightly to the right, slightly to the left, slightly to the right, slightly to the left, slightly to the right.
I go over to that cart.
There appears to be sounds of cries of help coming from within.
Morgar wants to kick down the door.
Make an attack roll for the door.
Are we so like? Can I still
Please,
like eyesight from this or no?
Yeah. You walk, you get out, and you see the door. There's a cart that's rocking back and forth, and you hear cries of help coming from the cart. Almost as if someone is in pain.
I'm gonna just hop up on the barrel next to Elena's cart and just watch Morgor storm across and take it from there.
I got 24 on the attack roll.
So as you get up and step up to the steps, the stairs to the cart, the ruckus stops from within it, as if the fighting is over, and it feels as if someone is almost drawing a dagger close to the doorway. And as you boot the door in, you see there is a half-clothed male figure that is shirtless. That gets kicked in and cracks his head on the back door. You hear a "Ah!" coming from within the cart, screaming.
Morgor here to save you.
You walk in and you see there is a woman that is covered up in her sheets and trying to kind of get covered from her robes. And who the hell are you?
I'm Morgor.
Get out!
But Morgor here screams to help.
I don't need help anymore.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, Morgor be outside if you need help.
Thank you. You hear coming from the moaning of the individual that you had booted from the door into. You kick the door in. You hear her go,
Morgor, what was all that about?
Morgor here screams to help. Morgor go to help, and they don't need Morgor's help. So Morgor not understand.
Well done. I'd say that's a good warm up for Jarrell.
Are there any birds around? The ravens, are they out? Are they flying around? It's morning. Are they
make
in the trees?
a perception check.
12?
12. There are 2 ravens, you see. Ah! One along the tree line. Another one has flown over to the top of the cart where Morgor had just booted a doorway into. And looking over at the raven, you can see a human individual that is half clothed, kind of limp from the doorway across and back into the far end in the cart. You hear, Jedediah, are you okay? I'm good.
I would like to, as I'm sitting on the barrel looking over at the cart, I want to cast Speak with Animals with the raven that landed on the cart.
Okay.
And I want to pick at its brain to see if it's aware of where Jarrell, or the leader of the circus, the ringmaster, is at. If it's flown around and seen anything and knows where it could be, he could be.
Okay. As you cast it, there is this dull glitter that kind of protrudes and kind of comes from your mouth as you go to speak, as if your voice changes. And as you begin to kind of call out to it, there is a recognition as you hear, who goes there?
I say, it is I, Maximus. Down here.
Well, hello, the Maximus. What's
that?
Well, hello there, Maximus.
Hello, sir. And your name is?
My name is Bralston. The old.
Oh, the old. I'm Maximus the Mad. So
Yes.
you must be very intelligent in your well-seasoned ways.
Oh, I'm well seasoned, all right. I've been around this parts for many years. Barovia is my home. And what can I do for you?
I'm a traveler, and I'm looking to make haste with my adventure, but in order to do so, I need to find an individual. Perhaps you've seen him around in your journeys as of late. He goes by the name of Jarrell. He's the ringmaster of this entertainment that you are a part of right now.
Ah, yes, Jarrell. He's been causing some trouble with us over here in Barovia. His carnival showed up. A few of my young wandered their way in here, captured, and turned into acts.
How about you let us help you in exchange for you helping us?
Sure.
If you can be our eyes in the sky, we will do our very best to bring you back your young.
Oh. Sounds like a fair trade. You'll be 3 young ones, not of 7 years in age. About.
As noted. And do they look like yourself? Is there anything distinguishing about them that separates them from anyone else?
Well, easily put. They're about the height of your young fellow, the green one, and they're in their bipedal form.
And so they know that they can trust me. How would they best respond to know that I'm not there to do them harm?
Let's see. Give me 1 second as I check my notes. Let them know. Let them know that you are friends of the Keepers of the Feather. Undo their shackles, and they'll change into their more mobile form and make their way back home. Find Davian at the winery, and we'll know you did us a great favor, and we'll owe you one as well.
All right. Now, in order for us to best do this, my first question or task of you is to just guide us to Jarrell today.
Well, Jarrell, I believe he's so far in his tent. How long does Speak with Animals last?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay. He's still in his tent, if I'm not mistaken.
Is there any way you can do a circle around his tent, Fly, or one of your compatriots can just circle around?
I can. Just bear with me I'll be just a moment. Anything you wish to say before he begins to kind of stretch his wings and unfurl them?
I said, thank you, friend. Your help will not go unnoticed.
Okay.
And then I'll make sure Remus, he's out there watching around, keep an eye on the bird and where he's going. So we just have a second set of eyes on it.
Okay. Stretches his wings, unfurls them. Surprisingly, you hear this one in an actual caw noise. He speaks legit just Raven. He's just cawing for the hell of it. Begins to fly off. At this point, Kelna and Howard come walking back. As you do, you see Maximus speaking in Raven.
I'll tell him I'll point up and say, watch this one. And we'll find Jarrell.
He flies up to the sky. Kelna comes back. She's got a plate full of eggs and bacon and some root vegetables. Here, guys, I got some breakfast. She kind of starts passing out some food to everyone.
I'm gonna hand out the plate too. Oh.
Howard, you can cut the. It was really well, done fairly well. She's looking up at you, but no one else is around us, so your choice.
Oh.
Okay. She has a small smirk, like, ah. All right. You guys begin to eat. Any last minute planning before we move forward? Any discussions that wish to be held?
Oh, I'll key them in about the help where the Ravens are going to help us if we help them and let them know what we're looking for.
And you said they're bipedal forms? The youngins?
That's what he said. 3 young ones. They were about Finks's height.
Maximus, make a history check.
That would be 13.
13. You're aware that in Barovia, there are clans of werefolk.
Okay.
Were-ravens being one of them. Keepers of the Feather are known to be a clan of neutral-ish, good-aligned were-raven.
Okay. I'll pass on all the information that I'm aware of from my fairy knowledge and knowledge of the obscure.
Well, while we were getting food, we saw the white tiefling. So something's in the works. Just to give you guys a heads up.
Has there been any movement on the Raven, or is he just in the sky?
Oh, you see, he's disappeared. He is up and flown off. He is circling around. He's out doing a scouting.
Oh, okay. So he's trying to locate him.
He's looking to scout.
Okay.
Oh, and also, Kauna is Lightfoot. Who knew?
Yes, don't call me Kelna around anyone else. Please. Jarrell knows who I am, so we're trying to keep that name on the low right now. But I don't want anyone giving up my spot. All right.
Well, your secret's safe with me, Kauna.
Thank you.
Lightfoot.
Oh, Lightfoot. Not
Yes.
Lightfoot, not Kauna.
Well, better part of about 20 minutes or so, a raven shows back.
Yes, my friend.
Do you cast it again?
I do.
All right. Is it a cantrip or is this a spell?
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip. Okay.
That's awesome.
Not bad.
Nice.
Good.
Uh-huh.
All right. Not the only one that can speak to goats, apparently.
No.
Be a whole monopoly over here on this one. There's a. So, I found him. He's got our boys locked up in a side tent behind his. I saw 2 or 3 half-orcs. It appears to be chaining him up and forcing them to drink a potion of sorts. I also heard screaming coming from within his tent. I don't speak whatever his language was screaming, but it sounded gargly and almost like sewer wrenching.
Did it sound like they needed help?
Probably.
And I'll nudge Morgor and say, that screams of help, buddy. Another tent.
Orgor help.
Which tent?
He looks over, he goes, Jarell's tent. And Kelna goes, oh, he's still in for the morning.
Which tent's his, Lightfoot?
Well, his tent is the big pink and gold one that's behind the big top, surrounded by a herd of owl bears that he keeps for protection. So we may not want to jump him in his tent.
What if we can get in unnoticed?
If we can get in past 5 owl bears and whatever other guards he has.
Well, as it so happens, Maximus can talk to ravens. Finks can talk to goats. I can talk to owlbears. I think we might have a chance.
Can you talk to owl bears?
No.
Make a deception check.
You could talk to them.
I could talk to them. Yeah, it's 11.
I'm just curious. She lets you. All right. I guess you could talk to them. So what are we thinking about? Going to disarm the creatures? Let them go?
Oh,
And
yes. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
get into that side tent and free them.
let's free them.
free the creatures. Let them
Amidst
start a
the chaos.
ruckus.
And amidst the chaos, we can get to Jarell.
Okay. If Holiday took 2 of the goblins with him, Jarell's for sure to have drained them and been powered up for the morning.
Is Jarell a vampire now?
She just you know how he is. He has his flavors of
Oh,
and
yes, I know.
methods.
Yes, I actually had it earlier. It's quite good. It's like a little bit of a cherry, a little sweet.
Howard.
It was good. I couldn't help it. But yeah,
No.
just to let you guys know, there are barrels of ale and wine that have bodies in them again. So Jarell's up to his old things.
Well, 2 Jarells? Or do we do more recon before jumping him now?
Well, is he gonna leave?
Who knows how long he'll be for the morning? Acts don't start for another 2 hours. He's probably preparing and making sure that he's well planned for any unexpected instances for tonight. She's just very much like, do we want to go jump in and do this now, or do we wish to just kind of do a little bit more looking around?
Well, how much more is there to look around? We kind of know where he's at, his tent. We know he's guarded by owl bears. He has his 2 guards that he controls.
He'll be powering himself up right now. Do we need to do anything else to distract him, to drain him, to get him alone?
If we can interrupt him, will we have a better chance?
Better chance, but Howard, you were there when you fought him. If I'm not mistaken, he's not the easiest to take out. He's stronger now.
Morgor have plan.
Oh yeah, Morgor?
First, Morgor kill 2 guards. Then, Morgor kill owl bears. Then, Morgor kill Tiny Man.
It's not a bad plan. You do have some muscle this time.
We'll keep your cart safe too.
It's not even my cart. I've been impersonating whoever had it before.
Let's go do Morgor's plan.
Except maybe not kill the owl bears. We'll use them as distraction.
Whatever you want to do.
We can always kill them later, Morgor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is true.
Ricky, did you want to say anything?
No, but it's dark here. Thank you for listening.
Okay. All right.
All right. Kauna, you're joining us, right?
Let's do this.
All right.
Okay. Well, as she begins to kind of get herself ready, finish off a piece of bacon that she bites.
Oh, I'll look over to Lightfoot or Littlefoot. Be like, hey. So in your pile of weapons, you had the dragon blade that you were gonna smite him down with, or if we stopped you from. What do you got that we could use against Jarrell?
Who knows? There's a bunch of shit in there. Last time I tried grabbing an item that wasn't mine, I took a bit of a nasty explosion to the face, and it had to recoup for about a week or so. But whoever had this cart before me, they have a whole bunch of junk and blades and swords and items and quirks and bits and bobs. A little bit of everything in that cart. I just grabbed what I know I set on it. And I'm always ready up for a dragon fight, so dragon sword and dragon bolts are on the standby.
And you said, Howard, you think he's a vampire now?
Oh, I don't know. He was draining power from goblins. I mean, unless they're spellcasters of some sort. But I did meet a new nice best friend who was a vampire. So, there's that.
What's that? Well. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has anything happened to Remus, Anthony?
With you taking off of the shackles, there have been no migraines, no headaches. There've you know what? Remus does have. He was being quiet and kind of resting in and kind of in and out of the conversation. He did have a heavy sleep, but during his slumber, he had dreams of a wedding night. Dreams of an individual that was planning to get married the following day. He was speaking of an individual that is sharp, chiseled face, joviant smile, very youthful in look and appearance. Dirty blonde hair, kind of parted. and has a very regal, sun-blasting looking metal armor that he would be wearing in his dream. Like over the centerpiece, there's like a raising sun with the rays coming out of it in like a depiction. You saw that this individual had almost like a necklace that looks as if it's a sphere with multiple lines kind of squiggling off of it, as if it's almost like a sun, almost like a child drawing a sun on a picture. And you see him praying at an altar as he sets a hilt blade down of a sword. And it is metal, this polished looking steel with this red ruby in the hilt of it. And the edges of the pommels kind of sprint off and they turn into like these little extra like little sun, almost like the hilt pommel protrudes off to these little identical sun rays that are coming off on like the flourishing, like the flavoring of the decorating of it. And you see this individual. Morning Lord, please, I pray for a happy day today. It is the last day of a single life. Tomorrow, I'm married. I am to be married to Tatiana, my beloved, but my brother, he has been ill to me since last night. He came to me in my bedroom, appeared out of the shadows. He looked sickened, tried to talk me out of this wedding nonsense. But I love my betrothed. He says that it's bad news to forget about her and to go off and defend the Morning Lord's honor. But I can't. I have to get married. As he says the Morning Lord's name in this dream, you see the sword handle kind of glow as there is no blade attached to the pommel. Your dream focusing on it is just a standalone handle. At the pommel where the blade would meet, it looks to be the metal has been almost bent and broken off of it. The dream fades and kind of changes scene, and you're met by a new scene with the same individual in more of a formal attire that is looking at an individual, gaunt face, widow's peak, black slicked hair, with a ruby necklace. That is, Sergei, please. I beg you. Say goodbye to Tatiana. Leave. Go on another mission. Do good for the Morning Lord. He goes, brother, I cannot. Sergei. As he turns around and begins to walk away, the individual that he's calling Sergei goes to go, but brother, I'm to be wed. And as he begins to say the word wed, the other individual, almost like a mist, sprints and appears in front of him and sinks his mouth onto his neck of the individual that is to be wed. And you see blood protrude and start to gush from it. And that's what you do remember from your dream.
I think Remus would then try and there's a bunch of weapons and stuff in this cart. He's going to try and see if there's something that resembles that hilt in the cart.
Make an investigation check with advantage.
15 plus whatever his thingy is.
Oh, I forgot we were doing that.
Sorry. I could have probably just pulled up his sheet. I'm sorry, man. I didn't even think about that.
No, you're good. 15. Okay. Be a 17. It takes a moment. And as you do begin to see a handle that looks to be familiar to the one that was in your dream, you see it is setting under a set of armor plating. And as you go to pull for it, you see the armor plate, the plate armor begin to kind of glow in this red hot looking light color. Make a dex save for me.
All right.
+6.
14.
Total?
No, that.
Okay,
Oh, no.
So 20. Remus, as there is a heating of metal and almost like an explosion of a trap, you fall out and get blasted out of the doorway of the cart with a sword handle of a hilt in your hand. And there is a glowing, almost as a vibration, almost a pulsating, almost like when a cell phone would vibrate. Kind of have that coming from the sword hilt. What do you do?
All right, so I guess let me ask this: does it seem like the armor's responding to the sword, or just like it wants me to do something? Like, is this like a Transformers Bumblebee moment?
This is more or less the armor. So as you're going to reach for the hilt and go to grab it to pull,
Yeah.
the armor that was just kind of setting on top of where it was, just because who knows who all of this belongs to and if it's all good or bad. The armor itself must have been trapped, and it exploded.
Oh,
And
okay.
it kind of blasts you out of the cart. As everyone's outside eating, you're outside, the door swung open, and you're holding a sword hilt in your hand. You're a rogue, so I'm not going to make you take any any damage from the blast. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll just try and I'll remember from my dream them mentioning something about the Sun Lord. I don't know if that'll do anything, but I'll just try testing it out as a hilt, pretending there's a sword there on it.
If it's sitting there vibrating in his hand, I'm gonna go up and press my back up against it, like it's a massage chair.
So as this hilt in your hand just kind of rests smooth, you feel that it is now kind of responding to your acknowledgement of sun. And not a full sword's length, but a small daggered, almost like a stiletto sized blade. Not a short sword, but longer than a standard dagger.
It's like a machete.
No, more like about that, rather than like a dagger, but a little more of a stilettoed, like a little bit longer daggered. There's a small stiletto of light protruding from this blade.
Sick.
And we're gonna leave off there. Unless wait, let's let Remus react.
No, I think ending on Remus just saying, "Oh, sick," and as it lights up for the first time is a great way to end it.
Perfect. All right, and we'll wrap up there, everyone. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this, you are awesome. Black Rock Joe, you've been chilling there the entire time. Thank you so much. Anyone else catching this on the replay or listening to us, thank you so much. You guys rock. Mad appreciation, but please make sure that you do support the stream. Head on over to our Instagram, podcasters_tabletop gaming. Hit like, hit follow. Head on over to Facebook, podcasters. There's a dash, pod-casters, tabletop gaming. head on over to YouTube and Twitch, Podcasters Tabletop Gaming. Twitch is Podcasters _. Make sure you hit like, follow, subscribe to all of us. And please make sure to catch us live on Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we go live with the Faybala 5. I've been your Dungeon Master, Anthony. And let Howard take it off today.
Okay. You can follow Howard on Twitter at PodcastersH. He likes to tweet every once in a while. And if you want to check out my drawing, go ahead, check it out. It's on Facebook and Instagram, Ratthink Arts. I got a couple of things coming up in projects I'm working on, so be on the lookout.
Yeah, look out. Maximus.
All right. I'm actually going to use this time to do a shout out, not for myself. Is that cool?
Sweet.
Get a little promotion here going on. All right. So it's my birthday tomorrow, and for my birthday, I ordered a awesome pack, and I pushed these in the beginning of last year. Cookies and cream.
Mm-hmm.
These gourmet cookies from Florida from my buddy Eric. This pack is awesome. You get 4 cookies. You get a cool little sticker and a fun little card. These things are huge. I've got about a half cookie here because I dove into them earlier, but the size alone this is like half of one cookie. So this is like pretty big, and this one's stuffed with a cinnamon cream bundt cake with frosting. Cookies and Cream Sarasota, look it up. This week, he's putting in pre-order for peanut butter cookie with Biscoff cookies and peanut butter chips filled with peanut butter and jelly. Lemon bar cookie with blueberry Pop-Tarts inside of it and lemon Oreos and white chocolate chips. Banana pudding cookie with chocolate chips and Snickers, and a graham cookie with marshmallows, chocolate chips, and Twix. It's like a s'mores. These things are awesome. They ship out nice and fresh. Throw them in the microwave. I couldn't say enough good things about the stuff. It's awesome sauce. So get in on it.
All right, guys, get in on that cookies and cream. They look delicious. I have to order me some myself. Finks.
All right. If you guys want to follow Finks on Twitter, you can follow him at Podcaster Sphinx. If you want to follow me personally for some miniature painting, follow me on Instagram at Phoenix Forged.
Make sure to follow Phoenix Forge. Get some miniature.
Buy some cookies.
Yeah, buy some cookies. Get some Phoenix Forge. Follow Finks and the painting. More gore.
All right. You could follow what we're doing with Kaimon at DCT Industries at dctindustries.tabletopgaming on Facebook or DCT_industries on Instagram. I actually have the official miniatures, what they're going to be looking like.
Hell yeah!
We got some nice resin miniatures.
Woohoo!
So this will be what they're actually going to look like. And one more here.
Nice.
So, yeah, so keep an eye out for that. March
Awesome.
26th is when it's coming out.
March 26, 2022. Keep an eye for it. Thanks so much, Jeff. Thank you so much to the many, many faces of Morgor. And last but not least, Remus.
I'm Remus. It's dark out. I'm currently in Ohio now. And yeah, thank you for listening yet again. I hope my segments of talking were okay in the audio. Yeah, you can follow me at Rick_Coates on all social media. You can follow Remus at Podcasters Remus on Twitter. And you can follow at Keep Flying Band for all the fun stuff I've been doing lately, music-wise. I was fortunate enough to see Anthony a couple times on this tour, so it was cool.
It's a good time.
That's all I got. I don't know if I'm still in service or not, but I'm going to end my call now and just say goodbye, everyone.
See you guys.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, guys, please make sure that you do support all of the players and their side adventures. DCT Industries, a great sponsor. Tony, Ratfink Arts. Tony, Phoenix Forged. Danny, Ratfink's Arts. Tony with the Abrupters, Mark and his art. As well as, please make sure that you do check out one of my favorite shows I do, called Chris and Anthony Just Can't Stop. It's a podcast on the network at bicbp-radio.com. Check us out on social media. Chris and Anthony Just Can't Stop, JCS. And then on Facebook, it is just the full show title itself. Say chaoticness, anything and everything, movie reviews, music reviews, life pondering debates,
Dirty questions.
dirty questions. It is. Listen, if you haven't listened yet, go do so. Chris, Danny's brother Chris, it's a great fucking time. It's a great fucking time. Go check it out. And we now have a Google Voice number, so I dropped that on our Facebook and our social media. So call in, leave Chris and Anthony Just Can't Stop a voicemail, and it may just end up on the show. So beware. But guys, thanks so much. Grab those D20s and keep rolling.
I got a 10 and Remus gets a 20.